John Hamm.
Holy shit. I have to come up here and make shitty jokes now, and this is like the most inspired I've been before 10 in the morning in some time. As a child of a single mom, this is so unbelievably impressive. Sherry, thank you for even inviting me to be a part of this. Thank you to everyone who is here and contributing to this. It is truly jaw-dropping and inspiring, and I'm so happy to be here. That said, I'm about to savage Tina Fey. It's gonna be awful. I didn't write any of these jokes. Most of them are from Robert Carlock. Little peek behind the curtain. But no, I'm here today obviously because Alec Baldwin and Martin Short and Amy Poehler and all of those people were unavailable. Fallon, McBrayer wasn't available? Jesus, that's terrible. But I guess top five. So regardless, we are all here clearly to celebrate this wonderful, talented Greek-American woman. Unfortunately, Nia Vardalos was canceled, so we got Tina. We found Tina in the parking lot picking up cigarette butts, and we were like, come on in. You're Greek-ish. By the way, Greekish, ABC. Tuesdays at 9. Set your DVR, Greekish. Tina will be receiving the Sherry Lansing Award today, and of course, look, we're not here just to celebrate Tina. Obviously, there's so much to celebrate here. We're here obviously to celebrate an industry where someone as beautiful and talented and smart and funny, someone like Tina Fey can end up on a casting list to play my mother. She didn't get the part. But the Sherry Lansing Award, as you all know, honors female leaders in entertainment like Barbra Streisand, Oprah Winfrey, Shonda Rhimes, Barbara Walters, Meryl Streep, Tracy Morgan, Stacy Keach, I don't know, like lady names? I'm unfamiliar, but now it's clearly Tina Fey. All recipients of this prestigious honor, named for the legendary CEO of Paramount Pictures and the first female studio head to receive a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sherry Lansing. Sherry mentioned it earlier, but Sherry greenlit Tina's first movie, Mean Girls, classic, unbelievable film, when she was running Paramount. But let's be fair, Sherry also greenlit Dickie Roberts, former child star. It is what it is. Can't all be home runs. Some of them are literally ground balls to second base. But of all the awards Tina has received, of all the Emmys, of all the Golden Globes, of all the Mark Twains, of all the Writers Guilds, of all the People's Choices, I know that this is the most special for Tina because this award also comes with breakfast. She loves breakfast. I have had the pleasure of working with Tina on many occasions. She has cast me as an extremely stupid doctor on 30 Rock. She has cast me as an extremely creepy psychopath on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and now actually saying out loud, I realize maybe Tina might not have the highest opinion of me. But Tina, the joke is on you because the feeling is not mutual. I happen to think that working together was the beginning of a friendship that I sincerely treasure. So, high road. Tina's resume is flat out intimidating, even before you take into account the fact that she is only 46 years old. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Only 4 to 6 years old. smarter than me, which is also not true. She has written a #1 best-selling book. She has created 2 television shows. She has created a hit movie, and she's now working on a Broadway musical. But most impressive to me is that Tina is a role model for young women across the country and in this room, inspiring most of them to throw away their educations and start taking improv classes. Congratulations, Tina. A grateful nation thanks you. Indeed, Tina's accomplishment proves that women can do it all, can have it all: a successful career, a talented husband, 2 beautiful children, another husband in Canada, a wooden foot, and a beautiful wig. I mean, seriously, Tina, by choosing brown hair, that was an amazing choice because no one expects it. No one expects it. I mean, who would choose brown hair? It's brilliant. It's really, really smart. And it looks great. But now her latest accomplishment is joining the long list of remarkable women who have received this award. So it is my pleasure and my privilege to introduce my friend, a true American treasure, Miss Elizabeth Stamatina Fay. Bring her up. Let's go.
Oh, thank you so much. This is pretty. This is very beautiful. I'm going to keep it here so I don't hurt myself. John is right. This is such a beautiful event that my jokes are going to seem stupid now, but thank you. It is an honor to be here at the Hollywood Reporter's annual Women in Hollywood breakfast, where the thigh gap meets the pay gap. When I heard this was a Women in Hollywood event, I was so excited to meet Amy Adams and Jessica Chastain because based on my screeners this year, they're the only 2 women in Hollywood. I could have played a linguist, Michelle. I could have played a linguist. But it's not all ladies here, obviously. Today, if you look around, Brett Ratner is here. In his defense, he thought this was a thing where you could eat breakfast off of 100 women. So it's an honest mistake. Chuck Lorre is here. Seeing Chuck here is a great reminder that while we're focused on women today, we are a community. And in that community, Chuck has all the money. God bless you, Chuck, for those scholarships. That is the difference between single cam and multicam. You have a foundation. God bless you. That's a beautiful thing you did today. I might be talking for like 20 minutes. Are you going to? Oh, that's good. I want to say thank you to Janice Mann and everyone at the Hollywood Reporter.
It was better, right?
Oh, you're trumping me. All right.
It's better, right?
It's good. Stay right here because you're going to like this next one.
I'm leaving.
Okay. I really am excited to be here today. Being in this beautiful room is like something that I would have pored over a picture of in InStyle magazine, 20 years ago, living in Chicago, standing in a Walgreens, and then I would have put the InStyle back and I would have used that money to buy pudding. But it is really a dream come true to be here with you today. I want to say thank you to Stephen Galloway from The Hollywood Reporter for starting this big Sisters of LA partnership. What a brilliant idea that continues to be. And I would love to talk to you later about how we could do this in New York and how we could start this in New York. I want to congratulate our other speakers today, Megyn Kelly. Megyn and I don't know each other, but we did once take the same plane to Disney World with our children, so I feel like we've served in the Marines together. Ryan Murphy, the prolific genius who has created so many wonderful opportunities for actresses of a certain age to play witches and horrifying monsters and lawyers who fail to convict. No, I'm just kidding. I'm with Michelle Bowen, WME. I'm what they call tech avail. I want to thank my friend John Hamm for being here today, showing up to an event like this. John is literally putting himself in danger. quick story about John Hamm. This is not the first time he has helped me out by showing up to hand me an award. John and I hadn't known each other long in 2009 when he kindly agreed to come to Washington, D.C. to help present me the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. I'm just mentioning the Mark Twain Prize to try to keep Ryan Murphy humble. Does it seem like it's working? Anyway, John came all the way to DC to help give me that award, and my whole family was there, and it was a very special night. And at the party afterwards, my cousin came up to me and said, I just met John Hamm, and like, he's so handsome. But, I have to say, like, I kind of like it better when he's dressed like Don Draper. And I said, yeah, he actually doesn't do it for me at all. I'm kind of, I really like, kind of like John Slattery is kind of more my deal. At which point I heard a little voice over my shoulder say, I can fucking hear you. And it was John. And yet here he is, giving me another award. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. You can keep showing up at these things, but I just don't like you like that. Like, you're embarrassing yourself now. I actually think that might be the basis for the longevity of our friendship, is that I am Team Slats and you can't stand it. I love Slattery. Anyway, that'll be the pull quote. And of course, I want to sincerely thank Sherry Lansing for allowing me to tarnish her good name by receiving this award. Sherry did, as we've said, gave me my first big break in the movies when I was a writer at Saturday Night Live, and I came and said I wanted to write a movie about relational aggression among girls, and it became Mean Girls. And again, I just mentioned the title Mean Girls because I just want to remind Ryan Murphy that not every gay thing is like popular because of him. But going through that process of making that movie with Sherry, it taught me so much. I had no idea what I was doing. I think I wrote 10 drafts of the script, and Sherry never took it away from me. She never got nervous and had someone else come in to do a 2-week deflavorizing of it. And I didn't realize at the time how special that was, but I do now. And so I want to say thank you, Sherry, for that. I do, and I intend to use Sherry as an example for my 2 daughters as they grow up, because I believe that Sherry is living proof that you can be, thank you, you can be smart, it's just water. You can be smart and powerful and in charge and still comb your hair. Because that's something I can't model for them at home. I don't comb my hair. Also, thing about Sherry, hold on, just a long ventriloquist water take. The thing about Sherry is she built this whole career for herself without a sex tape. Like, God bless her, who even does that anymore? Sherry, even I got my start by getting rolled bottomless out of a limo in front of the Ivy by Joe Francis. I got famous butt first. People don't remember that. But it's true, and I'm not ashamed of it, because here I am now. Anyway. What an amazing year it's been for women! What a year for women! Seriously, I talked about this in the magazine. I realized it came out today, but I've been thinking a lot over the past couple months, like how can we proceed with dignity in this increasingly ugly, misogynistic time? And it occurred to me that Sherry is the perfect role model, because talk about someone who remained graceful and effective in what must have been an incredibly misogynistic environment. I mean, she's much too refined to ever say, but Sherry Lansing has witnessed some nonsense and some behavior that the young people today would call triggering. And yet she was able to flourish and lead with all of her humanity and her femaleness intact. And maybe that can be the mantra we all take with us the next 4 years of just, what would Sherry Lansing do, right? What would Sherry Lansing do? Stephen Galloway, when does your book come out? Because I need to know how Sherry did all this. Stephen Galloway wrote a book about Sherry. We need to read it all, read and find out how do we do this. And you know, I promised myself I wouldn't get up here today and talk about the election because when I get written up in Breitbart, I want it to be because they're mad that I'm making an all-female Hitler biopic. But I have to say that I think the real reason that Hillary lost, and it's the thing that people are afraid to talk about, not enough celebrity music videos urging people to vote. I mean, I hate to be that person, guys. I just think if there had been like one more funny rap or like another Hamilton parody or something, just like a little more hustle from Liz Banks, and we could have tipped Michigan. I bring it up actually because the structure of those celebrity get out the vote videos always brings me joy, because you start first with the dedicated people who agreed to show up for like a full weekend at the studio and then like record the whole thing and film it. And then by the second verse, you get the people who agreed to participate from like the steps of their trailer. I'm looking at you, Jane Lynch. And then it always just ends with like Patti LuPone singing one line from her basement into a phone. And I feel like that's the career trajectory we all want, right? It's like we're all just punching the clock until we can be basement Lupones. Just in the, yeah, nailing it. I've been trying to think about what it means to me to be a woman in Hollywood and what my experience has been. And I think it's actually been pretty positive. I've worked with a lot of very evolved men, Lorne Michaels, Robert Carlock, my husband, Jeff Richmond. I've always been treated like a valued peer in the writer's room. And I think I've had a pretty solid acting career so far for someone who is PBS pretty and not shootable from behind. I dare you to watch any movie I'm in and see if I ever walk away from camera. No, ma'am. Not if I'm a producer on it. But at the same time, you know, I'm not immune to the pressure to try to look better. I was at a lovely, fancy dermatologist office recently, one I'm sure many of you have been to, and I asked the facialist, I said, Suzanne, what's the best like non-invasive way to tighten your face? And she said in this like French-Canadian lilt that she has, she's like, well, you know, I think that would probably be the Ulthera. Anybody here had Ulthera? Know where this story's headed? No? And so I said, yes, I've heard of that, Suzanne. I've heard of Ulthera. Have you tried it, Suzanne? And she said, yes, I have, yeah. And I'm changing her name to Suzanne for anonymity. Her name's really Elena. And I said, you know, I hear that the Ulthera really hurts, though, Suzanne. Does it hurt? And Suzanne said, well, you know, it sort of feels like you're being stabbed and electrocuted at the same time. Stabbed and electrocuted at the same time. And the moral of the story is, I'm still considering it, guys. That's what it's like to be a woman in Hollywood. And then I tried to think about what it means to be powerful, and am I a powerful woman? And I think power means knowing that you will be heard. Not necessarily obeyed, but heard. It's knowing that you literally won't be shouted down during the conversation. And I have a little bit of that power. I can get Bob Greenblatt or Donna Langley on the phone within, I don't know, like 48 hours. But can I get my 5-year-old to answer me if Teen Titans Go is on? No, I cannot. No, I just stand there holding socks going, Penelope, Penelope, Penelope. By the way, Penelope is such an embarrassing name to say over and over. You sound like such a wuss. I'm just like, Penelope, Penelope. Like I should have named her like Rick or like Kim, put your socks on. It's like, anyway, if you don't have a kid yet, don't name it Penelope. I think power is having a job where you're allowed to go to the restroom whenever you want, because I've had jobs where you can't, and I will never go back. Power, I think, is having proven yourself enough that people say yes to you when maybe they don't want to. When we pitched NBC a comedy show about a woman who was kidnapped at 13 and held captive for 15 years, NBC didn't want that show. But they had to say yes because they were already paying me. And I believed in that show, and now that show is in its 3rd season, somewhere else. And maybe, I think maybe even more important than getting a yes, I think power is having the freedom to say no to something you don't want to do, whether it is writing a pilot for a bad actor, or the butter scene in Last Tango in Paris, or telling Roger Ailes to put his hamburger meat back in the freezer. Feeling like you can say no without any negative repercussions is an important kind of power, and it's one that we can help give each other. I have that power, and I promise to help other women have it too. I'm lucky enough to have a great support system. My husband, Jeff, who I'm officially have mentioned twice now. My wife, Amanda Peet. Remember when the Game of Thrones guy kept saying that at the Emmys? He was like, my wife, Amanda Peet. I enjoyed that. My friends, I talk to my SNL lady friends every day. Amy, Maya, Rachel, Anna, Paula, Emily. We talk every day by text, and it is such an incredible support system. You may notice that I didn't invite any of them here today. That is how much I love them. Because asking comedy ladies to get up and put on a dress at 8 o'clock in the morning, they would genuinely be happier if I shit on their lawn. But we all talk every day, and what I'm observing is we may not be quite as thirsty as we used to be, right? We love to work and we love to do good work, but we don't need approval in the same way. We're adults now, and we know who we are and what we're good at. And I think we're really starting to ask ourselves, what is next for me? What is my role in this business going to be once nobody wants to grab me by the pussy anymore? And first, there's a lot of reassurance that everyone's pussy is still very grabbable. No, your pussy is amazingly grabbable. And then there's a little bit of loose talk of like giving it all up and making pottery in New Mexico. But, I know these women, and I think what's festering and what we will see will be a new generation of producers and some directing and some mentoring of young talent, and maybe, if we're lucky, a really successful Golden Girls reboot with all of us. What are my goals as a powerful women in Hollywood like you? I want to keep making things. I want to keep telling stories mostly about women and girls. I want them to be positive stories. I want to hire women. One of my proudest moments last year on the set of Kimmy Schmidt was standing on set for a scene that was Claire Scanlon directing, written by Meredith Scardino, produced by me, the 4 mole women staging a fight scene with Jill Brown, our female stunt coordinator, and I just thought, this is the best. This is what I want to keep putting into the world and giving women jobs. I would like to work less, that said. I'm not going to lie to you. My dream is to work 3 12-hour days in the middle of the week and receive an award every 6 months. I would like to talk less, and at this point, I imagine you would like that too. My goal is to be like Beyonce and never do interviews anymore, right? In every way, Beyonce. Because people ask me a lot of the same questions over and over. They ask me, what advice do you have for young women? And I say, don't smoke, wear a bra, trust your instincts, don't fuck John Mayer. They ask me, how do you balance work and family? I say, on your mom's back, that's how. They ask me if I'm proud of Amy Schumer, and I say, yes, I'm very proud of Amy Schumer. They ask me, what do you say to people who say that women aren't funny? To which I say, it is time to stop talking about that and start talking about how black people are funnier than white people. Thank you for this honor. Everyone get to work. There's a lot to do.